Welcome back to Young Old, the episode where I'm going to be taken out on a stretcher because my heart is going to give out from how stressful the upcoming conversation is.
The reason we don't have a normal introduction to this episode is because the intensity levels are starting too high as a result of what happened immediately after filming last episode.
Okay, the thing is like towards the end of last episode, we were like grasping at straws for topics, and then cut to we immediately turn off the camera. First of all, how did the topic even come up?
Well, what came up was as we're disassembling the lighting setup and the camera setup after the last episode, I think I was thinking about how I had been having a lot of smoothies recently. And I said out loud, I just said out loud casually while I'm putting a mic up, you know, I think I eat more fruit than anyone else in this house.
But there was something that prompted you saying that. Like what did we...
I don't remember the
I don't
prompt.
remember what it was.
It was
but
so small.
For some reason, you were like, well, I definitely eat more fruit than anyone in this room. The
Yes.
only ones in the room being
And I said it so
me
casually,
and Dana.
unknowingly, that I stepped on a landmine of monumental proportions.
Well, but okay, here's my thing. You have never had this take before. You used to be a self-proclaimed, I don't like fruit, I like fruit-flavored things person. And then all of a sudden, you have decided that you're the fruit king.
Two sisters talk about dumb shit. We hope you like it. 'Cause if not, then we'll kill ourselves and the blood will be on your hands. Young Old!
I never crowned myself as sort of the
You
fruit
did
king.
crown yourself
I
as
just
fruit
said
king. When you
when
said
I thought
I eat
about
more
it.
fruit than anyone in this room, which is so factually untrue.
It's not so factually untrue.
Yes, it is.
It's
Eve is the only
delusional
person who
shit.
buys whole fruit at the store.
I buy
figured it
whole
out.
frozen fruits at the
No,
store. I just blend them into a smoothie.
Okay, but here's what I'd like to say. We established you drink smoothies.
We established
okay.
you drink smoothies.
Yes.
And
But
those
here's
have
the
fruit
thing.
in them.
I also drink the same amount of smoothies as you. Like every day after my classes, I get a smoothie.
But no, you don't drink the same amount of smoothies as me because when I'm at the gym, I also get a smoothie at the
but the
gym. So
smoothies
there are
at the
days
gym
I
don't have
double
fruit in
up.
them.
So you're
The
saying
smoothies
Yes,
that-
they
no, they
do.
don't.
What
Robert,
else
they
is
don't.
in them? There's
They're like
strawberry
they're like
peach.
fruit juice mix. They're not. I looked.
I mean,
I looked behind. I
don't
literally
know
think it's
what
like
has
they do
fruit
over
back
there.
no. It's,
but
he doesn't put it in our smoothies.
should we have him on the pod?
Yeah, we
the
need
guy
to
who
have
makes the LA Fitness.
The LA Fitness
smoothies.
smoothie. I'm pretty sure it's like not.
You're not
fruit.
pretty
Okay,
sure
no,
it
I
is
am.
fruit.
It's not.
Okay, so here's
That's
the
why
thing.
it's called like fruit
Well,
blend.
whatever. Those
It's
would be
called
my
fruit
double. Those
blend.
would be my
When
double
things are
up
whole
fruit smoothie anyway.
Wait,
Here's
even
what I
on the
realized.
days where you're doubling up, so I every day I have a smoothie, and then on top of that, I'm eating real fruit at
Oh, okay.
home.
Well, first of all, as for
So
the
it's
real
like-
fruits, you're gonna hate me saying this. The real fruits you consume a lot of times, like you have like a little fruit sack, a little fruit sample. You'll have like
What? No.
French toast, and then
she
you'll
has
have a
whole
raspberry
mango.
on top.
No, she won't
and
have
then
a raspberry on top. She has like
I'll
a whole
have
mango.
whole mangoes
or
too. I'll blend them into my smoothie.
No, Robert.
Also, my
I
smoothies
don't
are whole fruit.
If I'm having French toast, I have a whole bowl of raspberries.
Yeah,
I don't
she does. She never
have
puts like she doesn't
a
use
whole
it as
bowl
garnish.
of
She's
strawberries.
having whole helpings of fruit.
I have whole helpings of fruit. Also, my smoothies are they're my meal. My whole meal is the fruit, and it's just I'll have like whole mangoes and strawberries
Yeah,
and berries.
I
in there.
also do that.
You
She
have
has
not made a
smoothies in
smoothie
addition
here
to whole fruit.
ever.
Also-
Yeah, but she drinks them from Sun Life, and they use real fruit.
I
Unlike
get
LA
smoothies
Fitness.
outside, and then I'm also eating fruit. I just I don't know where. Like I've never met somebody more delusional in my fucking
You
life.
are delusional if you think you eat
Like-
more fruit than her, and I agree with
Like,
that.
you
She
are
definitely eats
literally
more fruit than you.
you're a traitor,
Delusional.
so
I'm
I
not
don't
a
even want to
traitor.
talk to you.
No, but I'm not a traitor. You know I have your
first
back
off,
in
okay,
so many things.
Well, let's start with something we
Like,
can all
to
agree
me,
on.
okay.
Dana's third place. Can we agree on that?
I agree with
okay,
that.
sure.
Eve, are
Okay,
you
fine.
willing to give up that Dana's
Fine.
third
the
place?
least fruit.
But-
I have a brownie for breakfast
If
every
we're
day.
in Palo Alto, though, Dana's shoveling that shit back.
When we're in Palo Alto, I also will eat the fruit that's in Palo Alto. But you see what I mean? Like that to me is actually really indicative. Eve wasn't even willing to give it up that I ate more fruit than Dana, which means like they're so biased against my fruit
No, I'm
consumption.
not biased
Dana
against your fruit
eats
consumption.
No fruit.
I agree that
And
you have
and
smoothies.
Eve still was unwilling to say that I eat more fruit than Dana, which to me that puts an asterisk next to her claiming that she eats more fruit than me.
Okay, so then you're saying that I'm in first place then.
No, I'm what?
So then you're saying Dana's in third, you're in second, and I'm in first.
No, I'm saying Dana's clearly
Robert
in
says
third.
I'm clearly in third, and then
Do you
it's
think
a
anybody
toss
gives a
up
fuck
between
about
the two
this
of you.
besides us?
I don't-
No,
but you could say that about
I don't know.
anything we've
Yeah,
ever
that's what I'm
talked
saying.
about.
I'm like, if this isn't a topic, then what is?
I will say
That's
also
deep.
last night at like it's like 12:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And I made the mistake. Someone made the mistake of bringing up the fruit topic again, and Eve was getting so
See,
worked
the
up.
thing is like you should have saved the because we had the first blowout about it,
Yeah.
And then last night you riled me up again.
I riled
and then
her up
now
again.
I'm just like, I'm so like, I've been angered so much that now I'm just tired.
You're numb.
Like now I'm just so fucking tired that I can't even like get it. Because last night, like you should have you should have saved your second rile for today.
But I genuinely
Because
wasn't trying to. Let me be clear. I
third
think
time
it's
is the-
debatable that Eve has more fruit than me, but I think it's a worthy debate. I'm not sure.
It's
but I
literally
really,
not a
I
debate.
bristle
It's
at
not a
that.
debate.
You're not even willing to give up that like there is a conversation to be had.
No, because there's not. I just do eat more fruit than
And so
you.
then we were talking about how can we figure this out?
Okay,
like,
so we have to have a day. Okay, here, I just want you to know how it feels. It's like if I went around and said, I run more than Robert. I run more than anyone in this room. I make more Wait What TikToks than anyone in this room. Like, that's how it feels. Like, that's how it feels. Something that is just so preposterous.
But
that it's like, why would you even think that? Like,
That's-
where would you even get this idea in your head?
Can I be honest? That's what I think bristles me. That's why I'm more offended because I'm like, I do eat a lot of fruit, and no one in this room is validating at least that.
Like,
Where
no,
you're
you
acting like
be
it's
having
it's
I
not the
think
same
you
thing.
eat a
'Cause
decent amount of
I
smoothies.
am the only one who makes
No,
Wait What
yeah.
TikToks. To me, it'd be like, here's the thing. It'd be like if Eve claimed, I exercise more than Robert. Because even though I might argue in favor of myself, I would concede that Eve does exercise a lot. She goes to a lot of workout
look,
classes.
You be having smoothies. You be having smoothies.
Yeah, he
I'd
but
be
I
having smoothies.
still think
And
I
my
eat more fruit than
And my
you.
smoothies are the meal. My smoothies are full, and it's just fruit, and it's the
Robert, but
full
you
meal.
underestimate the amount that she just is eating a full banana or a full mango.
But
Like,
I will
no,
also
in-
have a
but
what? It's just
honey,
if they
in your
chop up,
smoothie,
if
in
you
your smoothie, there's still only like half a cup of strawberries, half a cup of mango. It's still not
half a cup of strawberries, half a cup of mango, half a cup of banana. Like it's a lot of fruits. We didn't
It's
say
not-
I eat the most bananas or the most mangoes.
But
We
no,
said
even-
overall fruit
even- but
consumption.
overall-
Overall
that
fruit
overall, you're
consumption,
still having
I'm
probably
still
fewer servings
eating
than Eve.
more fruit than
Yeah,
you.
she's still eating more fruit than you. I think that that's true.
I think that I am consistently. I think that I am. If we actually ranked
Also, in
my
the way,
fruit
and
consumption.
then yesterday he said a comment that boiled. Where are you going?
I will say I had noted that Dana hadn't eaten before this podcast, and I
Oh.
was getting a little scared.
Okay, she got some M&Ms.
I honestly was coming a little scared too because I'm threading a line here where I'm like, I do believe I'm right, and I want to
No.
argue for it, but I also
No.
don't want to make Eve
No.
genuinely mad.
No, well, I mean, like I said, I'm going to have to be pulled out on a stretcher from the stress on my heart that this conversation
Well, last
is
night you were
taking.
getting amped up at like
last
12:30.
night I had to calm myself before bed. I had to be like, stop thinking about it, stop thinking about it. I had to be like, no,
all this
we can't
week-
keep thinking about this. I can't keep
All this
thinking
week,
about
we
this.
had to be like, we can't talk. We save it for the pod.
But
Save it for
then
the pod.
you just had to rile me last night, and now I am so just like
I didn't
past the
I wasn't
point
trying
of
to
mad.
rile you.
I'm so
I
past the
genuinely
point of
believe
mad
this.
that I am now numb
But young
from the
ultimators,
conversation.
let us know if you have any suggestions for
Okay,
how
so
we
then
can
I
settle
was saying,
this.
okay,
because-
now we have to record our fruit intake.
But then
But
obviously,
then
obviously
it sounds
Eve
like
and
you
I
guys
will
are going to
just
amp up
amp
how
it
much
up.
fruit
if we
you're
do
eating.
that, then all of a sudden we're
There's
both
no way
eating
for there to be an unbiased
both
data
eating
1,000
set.
watermelons a
Right.
day. So it's like,
And
how
I was
do
saying,
we do
like,
this
I
in a
could
way?
just watch and monitor them.
But
then-
even
but
then,
a
we'd
comment,
know
a
we were
comment
monitoring
that,
them.
bristled me, yes, last night was him going, but I think my consistency makes up for it. I'm consistently eating more. It's like, what
you
do you
also
think
had a whole
I'm
phase where you
doing?
weren't eating smoothies.
What
I
do
will
you
also
think?
say.
Why do you think I'm not
I just wanna bring
consistently
that up,
eating
But then I had a
fruit?
whole phase where I was eating a lot of smoothies. I left my smoothie phase, but that's what prompted me saying, wow, because I've been back in my smoothie phase for a while. I'm like, wow, when you think about
But
it, I actually eat more
saying
fruit.
you consistently eat more. Why do you think I'm not consistent? Do you
Because
think there's a
the
day that
fruit
goes
is
by
never-
that I'm
the fruit
not
is
eating
always
fruit?
an accessory
No,
to your
it's
meal, and the
not.
fruit
That's
for me
not
is the
true.
meal, and I
No,
just consistently
Robert,
have
she
fruit.
eats as much fruit as you eat a meal.
Can I say something? Can I like slightly say a different topic that I'm
Yeah.
sure will also make people? Are we willing to give me the most vegetables? I feel like I definitely eat the most vegetables.
No, Eve prepares
Fucking
vegetables for
alright.
herself.
I knew we wouldn't do it. I just wanted to
When
ask.
do you eat vegetables? I've
I
never
have,
even
like-
seen you eat a vegetable.
I have like lettuce and peppers.
What
and
are you
veg-
talking
I eat
about?
a ton of vegetables.
This
I
is
eat salads.
preposterous. This is preposterous. No, you don't. You
Okay.
don't eat vegetables.
Idea
Also, did you
of-
just say that to get a reaction?
I wasn't
because
saying to get a reaction.
You don't eat vegetables.
Well, because I was like, every sandwich I eat has a lot of vegetables on it. I
so
load it
like
up.
same
So-
sandwiches as you.
and also mine as well.
Okay.
I think
I
that
just wanted to
you're
test it. I
fucking
just wanted to test the
delusional.
water. I
That was
wanted to put my
crazy.
toe in the pool just
Eve,
to see.
I think
Eve
you're
eats the
delusional.
most real food of all of us. Also, Robert, we eat out for most meals, and we inherently like mostly are eating bread, starch, protein.
Well, we eat out
We
for like
eat-
dinner, but also like, what do I eat for lunch?
Yeah, you
I'm
have
on
a
the
smoothie right
grind.
now, but you were on cereal for a really long time.
Yeah, but then before cereal, I was on smoothies for a very long time.
Eve never has like months on end where she's not eating fruit every day.
I didn't say that in the summation of my life, I've eaten more fruit. I'm saying that right now, in
now,
this period of our
still
lives,
eat for
I
more
think I
fruit
eat
than
more
you,
fruit
bro.
than you.
No, that's fucking bull. That's fucking bull, and you're delusional, and you need to be carted off by the authorities because there's clearly something wrong
let's
with
just say
you.
I'm
I
gonna
do
be
think the
carted-
vegetable assertion to me also calls into question like the validity of
Well,
all
what
of this.
calls me into question for me was you guys being like uncertain about whether or not I even eat more fruit than Dana, which is absurd.
No, I believe we
Okay,
prefer than me
fine.
at
Eve
this
didn't wanna
moment,
give
at
that
this
up.
point in time.
But let me just say, so in this scenario, I'm being carted off by the authorities. Eve is being carted off to the hospital, and then Dana's the only one left on Young Old.
It's just me,
Yes.
bitches.
I'm just like also because okay, yesterday and to the time before that, I'm like so angry. But now it's just like I'm like, oh, this sad man who is lost it. I'm like, oh, this sad man who is clearly like mentally not there. Who has no grasp on reality. I can't
I
help
think you
but
are having
feel
slight
pity
delusions
for.
of grandeur when it comes to your fruit and
It's
vegetable
not
consumption.
His
grandeur.
grasp on
It's not
reality is so
grandeur.
far
I
gone
eat fruit
that it's
every
like,
day.
I can't even be mad anymore because I'm like, oh, like I'm not even talking to somebody who lives in this universe.
Like, this is, again, maybe what is so... It's, again, I can live with they disagree with me. What's really sticks in my craw is suddenly... You're a sad old man. Like I'm some bumbling old man alone in a lighthouse who doesn't know where I am.
I'm worried that you have early onset dementia from the claims you're
No,
making
you're not.
right now.
You're not worried about
Not
that.
worried about
You're
that.
not worried about that.
But I do think you have fruit and vegetable delusions of grandeur.
I think that you might have fruit and vegetable delusions of grandeur. But I think it's because you were
Which
raised...
is a real disease.
I also think, okay, here's the thing
Which is
about
a
me.
real mental illness.
Eve and I were raised in a very fortunate and abundant fruit and vegetable situation in our youth. So we had a lot more access.
Bring childhood into
Yeah,
this.
also, it's not like I'm from like a third world country
No,
where
I'm
I had
just
never
saying,
seen a
like-
strawberry till I
No, but
moved to
I am saying,
California.
like,
Also,
I'm
I feel like at third world countries, fruit is all they have.
Famously, Asian.
Wait, is that true?
Asian
I
moms.
have no idea. It's one or the other. I don't know.
Asian moms, their whole like love language is like fruit and vegetable cutting, and like making sure their kids eat their fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, that's tea.
like.
But that being said,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really
cultural.
think
I would say
that probably you
childhood's
had-
relevant. I think we are
childhood's
talking
irrelevant.
about
But I
our
wouldn't dispute
current
that you ate more fruit than me during your childhoods. I'm talking about the here and now.
Yeah, but the here and now, I just like you will never get me to think that you eat more fruit than me on a daily basis right
Eve is
now.
very diligent in her fruit and vegetable
I
consumption.
literally am
consistently.
always eating fruit.
She is always eating fruits.
I would say I have a massive serving of fruit every day, which I
Robert,
think day over day averages
think
out.
Robert,
No.
no, it doesn't. Not to more. Maybe the same. Maybe the same. I doubt
You're not
it.
willing to give me the
Also,
same either.
I said
massive?
maybe the same. I said
It's
maybe the
massive.
same.
It's all fruit. It's all I'm
Yeah.
having is just pure fruit.
No, but say like I also am getting the same amount of smoothies as you.
I
And then
dispute your
also-
smoothie take. I
what do you
dispute
mean?
your little post yoga like smoothie is like packed with fruit. I
Robert, it
dispute that.
is. The Sun Life smoothies have a lot of fruit. That's why
It's a
they cost
big
$12.
Sun Life smoothie.
Yeah.
With it's what do you
The
mean?
reason
It
why
is
the LA
LA fruit.
Fitness
What else
smoothies-
would they put in it?
No.
Well, first off, okay, all right. I'm gonna have to confirm on the LA Fitness smoothies, but I want to be clear about
The
this.
reason why
the
it
LA
says
Fitness
fruit
smoothies
blend,
are
it's a
not the
smoothie
foundation
mix.
of my claim.
Okay, but like all the smoothies I'm getting at Sun Life have the
A lot
same,
of
if
fruit.
not more fruit
Fruit
than
than the ones-
yours.
yeah.
Less fruit.
No, they
Less
don't,
fruit.
Robert.
No.
Less
Sun Life
fruit.
smoothies have a lot of fruit. That's why they cost $12. That's true.
They cost $12 because they can overcharge
I
because
mean,
they know the
obviously
workout
there
girlies
there
will
is an
overcharge.
overcharge element
You
to
can't
it,
just say
obviously.
because it costs $12 that that's
but that
$12
being
worth of
said-
fruit.
I know what they put in the Sun Life smoothies. Robert, I used to have an eating disorder, which means I'm hyper attentive
Got
to
your
like
ass.
what is in stuff.
Okay, all right.
Like,
so
my
you're
sm-
playing the eating disorder card. Eve's playing the you have
even if I-
Alzheimer's card.
Even if I didn't have my smoothies, I still think just eating fruit, I would still eat more fruit than you.
And I want to be clear,
I
even
would
if I
say-
don't have my LA Fitness smoothies, I think my smoothie intake. But also, keep in mind, I eat fruit outside of just that as
No,
well.
you don't.
I'll have
That's
little
a
fruits
lie.
here or there.
Yeah, I'll have little fruits here or there. No, that's fucking preposterous, bro. That's fucking preposterous. Like, no, you don't.
I do.
Name the fruits
Yeah,
you
what's-
have
what's the
here
fruits
and
here or
there.
there?
I'll
What's the
have a
fruits here or
mango.
there?
I'll have like
When
did you eat a
when
mango?
have you? You can't even cut a mango.
you can't even
bitch.
prepare
You
yourself.
can't
Whole
cut
mango. I
your smoothie. So then you said outside of your smoothie you eat fruit here and there. What's the fruit here and there?
Well, it's just incidental.
Also, the fact that you're even lying.
Okay, so
or like
give
this
me
is a lie.
examples.
It's not a lie.
Give me
Like,
real life
to me,
examples.
I wasn't even necessarily like so on Eve's side until you were like, I definitely eat more vegetables. What are you
I
talking
literally think
about?
because I have like a pepper lettuce element to everything I consume.
have everything that I have. Every time
Also,
you eat
it's
pepper
like,
lettuce, I
what
eat pepper
do you
and
think
lettuce.
we're eating? Like, I think that you have fruit and vegetable delusion of grandeur, and I do think this is a real diagnosis that we need to look into.
It's not that I have fruit and vegetable delusions of grandeur.
You do.
I know you guys don't want to hear about it, but I do think it relates to early childhood and Robert having like a skewed belief over like what's a normal amount of fruit and vegetables.
That is an insane card to
But
play.
to me, it's just like
I have
him.
a full big ass helping of just fruit every day.
I think big. Okay, but so do I. Like, I just don't understand.
I don't draw an equivalency between your smoothie does not equal my smoothie.
Yes, it does.
I completely
My
reject
smoothie
that.
is the same
It
as
is
the
the same.
completely
smoothie.
reject
Let's
that.
go to Sun Live and you can
We
see.
will. That I will want to do,
Do
and
you
I want
wanna
to see
see
it.
what they
and then I
put
want to get
in?
behind the counter at LA Fitness just to confirm what they've got going on.
our
The reason why they
smoothies
say
are the
Can I say the thing about
same.
LA Fitness? When smoothie places use whole fruit, they like brag about it actively. And when you look on the LA Fitness smoothie board, it says made with fruit blend smoothie mix, or trademark fruit blend smoothie mix, which to me says we don't use real fruit.
But that could also mean that they just have like a pre-cut mix.
I
of
mean, let's
fruit.
confirm. I'm pretty sure there's like very little
Well, we have a
real
lot of.
fruit
Well, fine.
in LA
I'll
Fitness
research that. I'll go to
smoothies.
Sun Life and we'll have this conversation.
Okay.
But also, again, here's also something else that even
Our smoothies are the same, and you can
I also
cry
don't
about it
know
all
What
that.
you
I'm
want,
noticing is
but that's
you are
true.
reaching for like exaggeration. Like you are like
I'm
the
reaching for
you're there,
exaggerations.
this
You
and
reach for
that.
exaggerations. You said I
We're
didn't
gonna
even
look
eat more
down
fruit
at the
than
clock.
Dana.
We're gonna look down at the clock, and it's gonna be 3 hours
That's 3
later.
hours of just this.
Also, because we're just going in circles. Because it's like if we can't even agree on the, because we have a fundamental difference here, which is that you think our smoothies aren't equal, and that's just
Yeah.
something that like
That is a fundamental
It's like that's a
disagreement.
fundamental disagreement, and so like I just don't know how we're gonna settle that without.
Well,
I mean, I guess we
I've
can.
accepted that there is no universe in which Eve Donnelly will admit that I, Robert Schultz,
Well,
eat
and-
more fruit than her, and
And I
that's
guess there's no universe in which you will not be sick, in which you will be mentally ill, and like have no grasp on reality.
It's I
need
the
serious
thing that really
help.
irks me is like it's like pretending that there isn't even a conversation to be had.
Because there isn't.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because
Is like
there
that
isn't.
irks me. You're acting as if me saying I eat the same amount or more fruit than you is as preposterous as
it's
saying
me
Dana
saying
eats the
that-
same amount or more fruit than you. And I'm like, there's a level of offense to that.
Yeah, because it's like me saying I run more or make more weight. What TikTok?
But to me, it's like you saying I exercise more, where it's like even if I would disagree, I can acknowledge that I see what is building the foundation of your case.
Man, you need help. You need help.
Also, last
You
night,
need
I thought of the
fruit
vegetable
and
thing last
vegetable
night.
grandeur counseling.
I thought of the vegetable thing last night, and I was like, if you say this, the house will burn down. I can't say
But
this
again,
right
it's like okay, like I used to be mad about all this, but now it's just like I'm like, ugh,
You
he's
feel for
so
me. You
far
think I'm a
gone.
clueless old
he's
man.
so far gone.
You
and
feel
he
bad for me.
Really believes this,
Can I have some of that coffee?
and it's tragic.
Meanwhile, Dana's just been
It's tragic
snacking.
to see someone lose their mind, their grip on reality.
All right, maybe we should talk about something like more pop culture or like just something
What do you
more
mean?
Think of this
relevant to
topic,
our
young
audience.
old.
But
Well,
again, young
they're
old,
gonna
let us
chime
know
in and say
how.
that clearly Eve and Dana are right and Chubbs is wrong, even though they have no idea.
You
They have
don't know
no
that.
idea.
You don't know that sometimes the Chubbs supporters come out of the woodworks and then I bully
Yeah.
them into deleting their
Deleting.
comments.
That
Let
was
me just
so
also
funny.
paint a picture. Like, even I grew up eating so much fruit and vegetables. So even like our standard for what's a normal amount of fruit and vegetables is like extremely high. And like Robert did not come from what I would call a like fruit and veggie centric household.
Also, I think it's insulting you say I use fruit as a garnish. That's so
Yeah,
insulting.
it's
I was
not
actually
true.
surprised it didn't
That
make you
is
madder
so
when I first
insulting,
said it.
It's not
bro.
true.
That is so
just like
rude.
Fruit
Fruit
is rarely the star of the dish.
Robert,
That's
she
just
has
not
like
true.
a whole side of like fruit in
Yeah.
addition to the dish.
Yeah, side would be the operative word.
Robert, but it's like it's a side, but it's like it's it's a
like
plentiful
the whole
side.
container of raspberries.
You're so like I can't even
Like,
you
this is
are
what
you
I
do
mean,
sound
where it's like,
delusional.
you have
You do.
delusions.
You literally
You
have
have
delusions.
delusions.
of grandeur.
It's not delusion.
Also, like as far as I can remember, what you reintroduced smoothies like 2 weeks ago.
It was like a month ago, but also I had been in my previous smoothie phase
Also,
lasted
if
for
you
like
want
a
to
year and
talk
a half.
about consistency, like, babe, I got you beat. Like,
Yeah.
just give it up.
I would disagree.
Just give it up. This sad old man, you guys. Guys, please subscribe so we can afford to put him in a home.
You guys, please blow up your
Because he
gold.
clearly
Homes are
needs assistance.
expensive.
What if we blow up and then I start zooming in and I'm clearly in a straitjacket? I'm in a straitjacket.
And you're
clearly-
still insisting that you eat just as much fruit as you.
And I'm like, yeah, of course. No, I'm sure the home gives you lots of fruit.
And then you close the door and you look at my psychologist and you're like, he's gonna need another 10 years.
I'm like, up his dosage. I'm just like, wow. Like, again, I was so irritated before, and now I'm just like,
You feel pity
this
for me as a sad
man-
old man.
This sad
As a
man
sad
who
old
has
man.
lost it.
Anyway, welcome back to Young Old, the best podcast in the podcast marketplace.
Where
Two
we talk.
sisters.
Where we talk for hours on ends about the fruit intake, about our fruit intake contest.
Dude, I just know the comments are gonna be like, Chubbs eats less fruit.
But you don't,
And
I
they
don't
don't know. And they don't know.
No, but they do
know. But they
don't
do
know.
know.
Robert.
Someone's gonna be
Okay.
like, I'm the
Robert.
CEO of Sun Life, and our fruit,
And then someone's gonna comment, and I make the LA
have more
Fitness
fruit.
smoothie mix, and there's no fruit in it.
Sidebar, I would love it if the guy who makes the LA Fitness
Came on the
smoothies,
pod.
well, just
Yeah.
was like a fan.
Oh yeah, that would be
Him
awesome.
and he knows Dana and I.
He knows
and
us
I think
really
he's
well.
charmed by us.
I think he likes us. Yeah, I get
That's
a
not
good
like
vibe
someone
from
who like
him.
goes to the strip club
And
and
it's like,
thinks the
they
stripper's in
love
love
me
with
there.
them.
Yeah.
Not to
No,
me.
you guys, the
That
guy who
is
makes
giving
the smoothie,
somebody who
he's
thinks the
obsessed
strippers
with
The guy who
love
makes
you.
me my smoothie and used to sell me Celsius, I'm like, no, he likes me.
He really likes
Bruh.
me.
So you guys transferred over from Celsius to smoothie.
We did, which I do think
That
is
is a
healthier.
good- that's
Oh,
a
we
good,
used to drink
um,
Celsius every day,
Yeah,
and I'm
Robert and I
so
were
glad we
drinking
shook it.
Celsius
I'm so glad we
today.
shook it.
But also, that being said, if Celsius wants to sponsor our podcast, maybe we could get back on.
I mean, that would be horrific.
Yeah.
Imagine that argument we just had about the fruit, but all of us are just through the
even
roof
more
on
cracked
Celsius.
I drink
out.
more Celsius.
Yeah.
Oh, or it would still be an argument about fruit.
It would still be an argument about fruit, but we would just
But
be
it would
so
be-
like
but we'd be
jittery.
high on the
I would have to like an
Celsius.
afternoon Celsius every day, and it wouldn't be like because when you have an afternoon coffee, there's something almost like relaxing about it.
Well, coffee's a vibe. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why
Also,
Europe
coffee
loves
has
it
like
so
a
much.
fourth of the caffeine that a Celsius
Yeah,
has.
Right.
An afternoon Celsius, like it wouldn't even wake me up. It would just like fix the shakes or
Well,
whatever.
yeah. Well, we were fully addicted.
Well, also,
so
as
it's like
we
it
said
started. It stopped working to like energize us, and it started being necessary for us to feel like normal people.
Also, Celsius is kind of a batshit energy drink because they clearly haven't figured the flavors out yet. Because one of the flavors was like marshmallow orange.
Ew,
Yeah.
that's
And it's like,
disgusting.
Clearly, you were trying to make either orange or marshmallow, and you were just
But
like,
I'm
it tastes
a
like
marshmallow
shit.
flavored drink just does not sound.
But it's not like they were trying to make it marshmallow
That's my
flavored.
thing.
They like retroactively were like, I guess this kind of
I
tastes
bet
like
they tried to make
marshmallow.
orange.
Oh,
It
I
tasted
didn't
like
think
shit.
okay, okay,
But like
yeah.
Robert and I always joke about like they have so many flavors where it's like tropical vibe,
Arctic
raspberry
vibe.
vibe.
What do you
And we're like,
mean?
oh, you
Vibe.
couldn't get it to taste
Like
like,
raspberry,
anything
so you
anyone
were
had ever
like-
tasted before.
Yeah.
like
a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
raspberry
the ballpark,
vibe.
raspberry ballpark.
Raspberry ballpark.
yeah. Right, orange approximate.
Well,
like,
they probably have to
that's-
call it like mixed berry ballpark because
Right.
like the raspberry lobby would like be like, don't
they'd
put
be,
this
they'd
on
be
us.
like, you can't say that this is raspberry flavored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
it's
yeah,
like,
energy drinks are crazy.
but Celsius is so interesting because it's an energy drink that found a way to market itself to like people who consider themselves to be healthy.
Right,
which is like
I mean, greenwashing is so like those TikToks where they take something like Coke or whatever,
Right.
Yeah, and they make like the
it
healthy
look
marketing
like
version.
a healthy drink.
Yeah.
because it's so like labeling is so powerful.
dude, labeling is powerful.
Well, it's the way
Packaging.
they'll put like gluten free on like a Reese's, and it's like
It
yeah, I
never
guess
had gluten in
It
it.
never had gluten in it. That doesn't make
Yeah.
it healthy or whatever. Celsius too. It's like again, I'm like they tried to make a normal flavor. It failed, or the FDA stopped them, and they're like, fuck it, just
Call
put
it vibe.
put tropical
Yeah.
shrug on the can.
Tropical shrug. Put rainforest feeling.
Put rainforest feeling on there.
Yeah.
Also, oh my god, some of the Celsiuses are non-carbonated. Dana got a
my
good
God.
deal on a
Oh,
package
no.
of peach.
Okay, so when you're really
The thing is like I did end up drinking all those because that's my favorite flavor.
that's so
is the peach
fucking
green tea.
nasty to me.
Sorry about
to
it.
Even here, I honestly, I drank so much of those that I like feel
you
sick
like
when I
peach?
talk
I
about
probably
them.
thought of you as like a fruit go.
We can't do this. We can't do this.
All right.
Okay,
But Robert and I were like really addicted to Celsius, so I found a deal bulk ordering them on Amazon, and I didn't realize why certain flavors on Amazon were significantly cheaper than other flavors. So one was basically like $1 a can or something like that. So I was like, I jumped on it. I was like, great, like let's get this one. And it was a non-carbonated. The reason why it was so cheap, non-carbonated peach green tea.
And that's my favorite Celsius flavor. I'm not joking.
So Eve got
like
the
Robert and I
leftovers.
got so grossed out by it like so quickly.
but they all disappeared from the fridge because slowly but surely I
Slowly
drank
but
them
surely
all.
they did. At first I was like, oh my God, Dana and I are not going to drink these. And they
Because they sat
did
there
wean
for
off.
a long while, but it's like if I'm going out like somewhere late or something, then I'll have one. And even if I'm going to the gas station or something, like that's the one I'll pick.
I will say
That's
that
wild.
also one of the best things about being off Celsius is I know that if we ever like are in a bind or like we really need a quick pick me up,
Then it will work.
really work.
Yes.
Like,
Versus
then
if
you
you
do
do
it
it
like-
every day, it loses its effectiveness.
Yes.
That's why, I have it like on occasion if I'm doing something like late.
Like we truly were doing Celsius to feel normal
Every day.
Like we weren't
It
even
was
getting
crazy.
the benefits of like the crack that is Celsius.
Yeah.
Also financially,
So- 'cause
it's
if you do
nuts. You'd have to
crack
spend
every
like
day-
$8 a day
yeah.
on Celsius.
Yeah.
If you do crack every day, it's just
Yeah, do it every other
Right,
day.
exactly.
Do
you
it
gotta
when you
do
really
it
need
when
it.
you need it.
And now Dana and I, when we do crack, we know it's like, oh, it's really gonna
And
hit.
it's like, okay, it's gonna hit for sure.
That being
right
said,
now.
with Celsius, like it's almost nefarious because when I'm at the gym, I'll look around. So many people have a Celsius with them while they work out, and I'm like, you're gonna fucking die.
Dude, it's
I
really
always
penetrated
think
the
that
culture.
when they have it in like the workout class, I'm like, that's crazy. But do
Well,
you? I
also,
guess.
Okay, people always say this, like, where they're like, in 10 years, we're all gonna look at blank like it's smoking. Like, that's like a big
Yeah.
like thing to dissuade people from doing certain unhealthy behaviors. But I'm like, I do think in 10 years, Celsius, so many people will have died of Celsius. That's my prediction.
I mean, charge the
I don't wanna
Panera
speak
charged
that. I don't wanna-
lemonade,
yeah.
bruh.
I'm like, I don't want to speak like negativity or death over anyone, but like, I am like, no, for sure, prolonged everyday consistent Celsius intake can't be good for
I'm
you.
sure that any deaths that are related
Don't
to the
sue me, Celsius.
Oh, sorry.
And
I'm
also,
sure that they shut down any sort of like press related
Well,
to that.
I think it
Do you
was
know what I mean?
pre-Celsius. It was pre-Celsius, but I remember there was a story of like a 26-year-old person in great shape who like drank an energy drink and went on a run, and they had a heart attack, and they were
Right.
healthy. Interesting
Wasn't
though, to
that
your
Bang?
point, but I don't know if it was Bang because to Eve's point about like the press, they never named the energy drink. They
I'm
just
sure they
said
shut that shit down.
They
I'm
drank an
sure they
energy
shut
drink.
that shit
It's like when
down.
someone dies in Disneyland and they drag them right off the park.
They say no, we ain't having that here. But
Monster
yeah,
Energy was like, it wasn't us. It was just generic energy drink.
right. But like the Panera thing was a big thing. But Panera has other stuff, so they're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's fine.
Panera's
but
real fucking problem is they're big into order at the tablet.
Oh my
That's
God.
their
Next
real
to
shit.
tablet
But
shit,
everyone
bro.
is into tablets
I
now.
fucking banned tablets from outside.
You can't go into like, I literally think like 1 in 2 restaurants now is tablet
and
centric.
that's so, or like QR code. Fucking no.
Also, it never works right. I'm gonna need an employee to come tell me how to work the
that's
tablet
so real.
anyway.
The tablet never works.
So what's the point? Also, at Panera specifically, it's like your whole thing hinges on this kind of having a cool, relaxing cafe vibe. That's what your Panera business relies on. So when you keep like putting me on a tablet, it kills whatever vibe you do have.
To me, I'm like, how do we fix this? Like, how do we actually communicate to like stores
That we hate the
that
tablet.
we hate the tablets?
Guys, go into a store, pick up the tablet, and smash it on the ground.
Yeah.
And then when
Young
you go-
Goldenators, rise up.
Rise
Okay,
up.
like, let's make a date. What date are we doing this? Like May 31st or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's
May
gonna be the
31st.
tablet
May 31st is
smashing
the
day.
whole tablet smashing day.
Where we all go
into
into
your local
establishments.
tablet-centric establishment, and
we
we're gonna
smash-
break those tablets.
And like bring like if it's like sometimes they're like nailed in, like bring a bat.
Bring
like,
a bat,
fucking-
bring power tools.
Bring a golf club, like
Yeah.
smack that shit.
May 31st, bring your weapon arsenal.
and rip up. Yeah.
Me bring
Your
your pop up to
hammers.
Applebee's,
Yeah.
like
And again, target only the tablet.
Only the tablet.
Only the tablet.
Only the tablet.
yeah.
Yeah, and then when you get arrested, say, "I'm only doing this at the orders of the Young Old Podcast."
And then the cops will be like, "Hey, I should listen to that.
I should give it a listen.
Sounds good."
I think this will be great publicity for our pod.
Yeah, well, we all get
also-
dragged off to prison, and
I
then I
don't know
plead insanity
anybody-
because of the fruit. So you two are doing hard time, and I'm in like a mental
And they're
facility.
like
Cushy mental facility.
Yeah. And then we just have to replay the clip from the beginning of this, and then they'll be like, "Oh, he's clearly insane."
I literally
We should
think
card him off.
if our jury is all
clearly
people
insane.
over the age of like 40, we could all plead insanity with any clip of this podcast.
As fuck, bruh.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
true.
I always think about it, I'm like it's so crazy because obviously so much of wanting to be a famous person on the internet involves surrendering completely control over other people's perception of you. But I am like, it's so funny to like look at or like think about how people that I know must perceive me, and I'm like, everyone for sure thinks I'm insane. Like,
I mean, people have reached out to either me or Robert, being like, "Hey, is Dana insane
but like,
now?"
It's like I'm literally not, but it's because I've just surrendered to the idea that I'm like, you can think that.
Well, it's also funny because a lot of people thought you were insane during the Dr. P era, and then now that you're going viral as yourself, they probably think, "Oh, Dana's super cool and not insane." And I can attest, it's the same Dana.
It's the same.
All these things come from the same place.
But
the
also,
cool
like,
shit
if
comes
you're
from the
insane,
same place.
but you have followers, people are like, "Oh, it's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like fame validates insanity.
Behavior. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying I'm not insane, but like I'm not like
she's not even denying that she's insane.
I would say I'm in touch with reality. I'm just saying like I don't like these things about
She's a
reality.
creative person who does a lot of creative projects.
Exactly.
And
I'm a creative person who does creative
and some of them don't. But that doesn't mean that like they still come from the same creative spot.
Wait, okay, but that actually brings me to something I think about a lot, which is like when your creative mechanism is like your voice or like talking or performing with your personhood, it's like
I love performing with my personhood.
Dude, me when I perform with my personhood.
But it's like, it's so unfair that like that is my artistic mechanism of expression, because it's like I was saying another episode with like Jackson Pollock, it's like when Jackson Pollock expresses himself, it's through like a painting. So it's like, it's not necessarily his insanity or lack thereof or whatever isn't associated with like him as much as like my insanity is associated with me. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Sometimes in like art, like you'll look at Picasso through the years, and then like towards the end of his life when he's like really losing it, the paintings are like looking extra whack.
But
and
you're
people
still
are like,
just projecting that onto the painting.
I
Because you
guess.
don't actually know.
Well, I always think this.
But people always say, I'm saying people do project onto paintings.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, you can tell he was losing it by the end.
I guess that's true. Never mind them.
Well, I honestly think the opposite sometimes. There's a lot of actors who they happen to get cast in a funny movie or a funny show. So therefore, we as the audience thinks they're funny, and it's like, no, they're just an actor. If they were cast in a dramatic show, you would think they were very dramatic. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all about the context in which you perceive something that then you project everything onto it.
But then I guess what I'm trying to express is I wish there was a deeper understanding by the public of media and art. Like I wish we were more media art literate as a public.
Like stop taking everything so seriously and so
that,
literally.
like, I could like be myself in like a creative context and not have people being like, you should be institutionalized unless I have a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Like doesn't that suck? Like aren't we confining ourselves to a weird prison?
If this went super viral, you would not be thinking it's quote unquote crazy. So then, but then I'm like, then you're results oriented, and it's like the process is the same regardless of the result.
Like
I
if
love
Robert
when
became
Dana
famous
drops
for
an M&M.
being delusional about eating fruit and vegetables, it would be fine.
What's funny is like I am gonna be an insane old man by the end of this pod. I will be. I will be what you have made me.
I'm glad though, because I thought it was gonna end in me getting carted off.
And it's gonna end with me getting carded. Well, you forgot one thing, which is that Dana will abandon my side whenever the cameras are rolling. You forgot about that one thing.
It's not.
This energy, by the way, when
What?
Eve and I were arguing the first time, Dana was not riding this hard for Eve. As soon as the cameras are on.
Because your
anyone, I was-
delusion has come out even more that she's like, oh my god, he really is delusional.
Well, wait, it is when you said the vegetables thing. I'm like, I can't be on your side. That's not
You
true.
weren't on my side before the vegetables.
Yeah,
thing.
but she didn't think you were like so far gone.
Also, I can't
and then
publicly be a
you
freaking
made it
pick-me.
clear. That's tea.
Like that's
I
so.
know,
It's
but
like
I am
obviously
just
it's like I'm gonna have like my sister.
I
She's
think
my little
that-
sister. I have to have her back
I
publicly.
obviously understand
from a
that,
forward
but
facing.
I
Got your
get
ass
that's the
spread.
reality, but that is the reality. I
You
get
know
that's the
that I
reality.
like love you. I support you. I don't believe you eat more vegetables.
I love you. I support you. I don't believe you
Yeah.
eat more
But
vegetables.
I expected as we came into this, I knew it would be one against two. Well,
Well.
three. Well, Biter's not really
Well, but I
standing
will
up
say
from the
also
other.
in the off-camera conversations, it's like I don't care. Like you guys are
Right,
arguing
she
and
don't
like
give a
I'm
fuck.
on my
She don't
phone.
give a
Like,
fuck.
I don't give a
I mean,
fuck.
also we were really mad last time when the camera shut off, and then we had this huge blowout,
And
and we
we're
were
like,
like,
the cameras
"Fuck,
were
that should have been on
rolling."
the pod.
And I do have that video on my phone.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so tea.
Maybe Young Old Donators, when we have a Patreon,
We
that'll
can
be one
release
of
the footage. We
limited
can release
edition.
also
There are
like
a lot
the
of-
first fruit fight footage. That's valuable
That's
stuff.
so valuable.
That's
Also,
valuable stuff.
It was like there was so we were
Also,
so
it was
riled
raw.
up for real.
Emotions were raw.
We've actually this conversation like was after literally a week of us like getting our thoughts together and settling our
And
emotions.
also like a mini fight from last night.
and a mini fight from last night. And so
And so
today
now you can tell, like, I'm not even even riled up anymore. Again, I'm numb. I feel bad for an old man that's losing his mind.
I wasn't really riled up about anything because I expected it until Dana was hitting me with the honey. Oh,
Honey.
honey. I'm like, I am going to sprint into traffic.
Don't sprint
But in
into
a cool
traffic.
way. In a
But, like,
chill,
in a cool-
in a
but in a
chill,
cool and
don't
chill way.
5150 me
Eve goes
way.
for way more runs than you.
Yeah, but I'm
goes
running
to
way
sprint in
more.
a
Whatever.
Right.
I've seen more Lucifer, so I know more about Once Upon a Time. Did you know that Belle in Once Upon a Time is like a cool motorcycle repair woman?
This is always your go-to. Your go-to is always Belle was a cool motorcycle repair
Wait,
woman.
wasn't she? I thought you said she was.
She is,
Are
right?
you fucking with me?
I literally thought that was
I
real.
thought that's what she
fucking
was.
with me.
I thought that's what she was.
All right,
Guys,
don't tell us.
The cool motorcycle leather jacket person is Pinocchio. Okay.
Listen to what you just said to us with a straight face. That is my get out of jail free card with Eve. As soon as I backed into a corner, I can like inaccurate assertion about Once Upon a Time, and I'm like free.
Yeah.
It's like throwing a flashbang into a conversation with Eve.
Belle runs the library. Duh.
To me, it's just like weird that like some of the characters do things that resemble their real.
Well, because it's like, what would Pinocchio do that's like on brand? Like,
Well, you're like-
nothing.
He would
So they're like,
lie.
You're like
well, yeah, but see, then he's a bad boy.
Maybe he would be
He's
an improviser.
but then sometimes you're like Captain Hook is a bisexual gym teacher, and I'm like,
No,
how did we get there?
No one's a bisexual. It's still like ABC. Okay, no one's.
There's bisexuals on ABC.
I guess, but I don't know. This was
Grey's
a long
Anatomy
time
had
ago.
many bisexuals.
All right. Okay. Sorry to say that then.
Rob and I were talking about this. Bisexuals have existed in media and in real life.
I'm trying to think if
forever.
there's any
It's only just
queer
recently,
relationships in Once Upon a Time. I feel like there isn't.
Well, it's like when well to
Not
that
that I
point,
can
it's
think
like
of.
when Marvel. All the early Marvel movies all starred white people, and then the Marvel executives tried to pretend that that's just the way the industry was. Never mind the fact that 2 years before Iron Man 1, aka the start of the MCU, a studio-released black superhero movie came out that made more money than Iron Man, I'm pretty sure, which is Hancock. It was Hancock.
Oh yeah.
So they had a massive studio black superhero movie before Iron Man, and yet still Marvel was like, well, the Avengers gotta be all white.
Well,
And it's
also, like
what?
we always talk about, if you look at the 80s and the 90s, there were so many black-led successful sitcoms and movies, etc., etc. It was like only in like the mid-2000s that they started like pulling back on diverse casting.
And then very performatively, like,
and then performatively
going back
reintegrated
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
But it's like no one told you to not be diverse.
Right.
But it's like now that movies and shows are like such utter shit garbage, and then they're like, okay, we'll start casting like women and people of color and whatever now, and so then it's like, then people think, oh, this is all garbage because of the people of color, and it's like, no, the shows are just garbage, and then they also decided to do that.
To the point where so many
It's
people
correlation,
now,
not causation.
So many people now
Yeah.
will say like this show sucks because it's woke, when really they just mean it sucks.
It sucks.
Famously, I don't know if someone
yeah.
I'm related to said, I don't like all these like woke reboots. I like cool, good movies that don't go woke, like Top Gun Maverick and Dune 2, which both do all the things that
like
these so-called
the-
woke reboots do. It's like a younger, more diverse cast.
But they just are good.
They're
versus
just good.
being bad.
They're just good movies.
Yeah.
Also, and I have always said this, but the Marvels, you know, the one with Brie Larson and whatever, that is a psyop against women to make people hate women.
Because the trailers.
Because it's supposed to be like a quote unquote feminist movie, but it's so god awful, and the like promotion is so fucking cringe. I haven't even seen it, okay? But the promotion was just so cringy for it that I'm like, this has to be a psyop to make people hate women. It has to be.
Even aside from just that, that's one of those movies where I'm like, I sometimes think people who market movies assume the average person is like scrolling Twitter and refreshing Variety, because like with that one I'm like, the average person probably doesn't even realize that that's Captain Marvel 2. Do you know what I mean?
I think there's also like
Call
this
it
really
Captain Marvel 2. The first Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
There's this deeply misguided assumption that people consume media with their like virtue signaling ambitions in mind. They don't. Like the average person has no virtue signaling ambitions.
Right. Well, also they're listening to
not
all the like wackos
watching
on Twitter,
things,
and it's like no one in real life is on there, dude.
No one's
it's like
on there.
20 wackos on Twitter have completely
They don't even
changed
go to the
movies and TV
movies. Like they don't
forever.
even go outside, let let alone to the movie
also,
theater.
this desire for everything to be beloved by the internet. A, the internet has never universally beloved anything, and B, it's like, who cares? Like, to me, it used to be a regularly occurring thing that like the most popular shit was always the most hated, and then you just kind of rolled with that.
And we rolled with that. But Robert and I also talk about who's actually on the internet. The weirdest person from your high school.
Yeah.
Robert and I were the weirdest people at our high school. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're the internet. We're not representative of like the average American.
Yeah.
But and yet you guys are going on the internet
But
going,
today's
well, this is
studios
what
are
these
so
are the average Americans.
obsessed.
Robert and I are fucking freaks.
Yeah.
You're taking the word of every freakiest person from every American high school and you're making like huge decisions based on that.
I always think
crazy.
Think of like your high school. I'm going to pull a number out. Say if your high school class of 200 people, whatever it was, think about who in your high school class consistently posts on the internet right now. And I don't mean like pictures of their vacation to Cabo. Just consistently post.
Like
It's
posting takes.
Yeah, it's like
Posting
maybe
takes.
3 or 4 people.
Maybe
That's
3 or
not
4.
That shouldn't be your audience for anything. The audience should be the 195, 196
Also,
people who
inherently,
don't
people
post.
who are creating content for the internet are not the average consumer. They're probably consuming way less than like the average person because they are sitting around creating whatever they're creating.
I love this movie, would never go viral.
Yeah.
I hate this movie because of this, and this.
the
That's
only,
what's gonna
the
go
only
viral.
takes that float to the top are
Or
the ones that
hate.
generate controversy.
Yeah. Like no positive takes are getting
And
traction.
I'm genuinely trying to help all of you with like money and decision power in the industry.
That means it's the studio execs. If you're watching this, you're
Studio
welcome
execs
for
are
the
watching this.
advice.
I'm just telling you, you would be a lot better off ignoring the internet.
You'd be so much
Genuinely.
better
And-
off.
Except for this. Except for me.
Except for
right
us.
now.
Except for
me
us.
right
Except
now
for
on the
us right
internet.
now.
For us.
Because I'm genuinely trying to be helpful. And the reason I'm trying to be helpful is because there aren't that many movies that I want to see in the theater, and I like to have an outing now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, only weird freaks are commenting. So just
The
forget
Ignore
internet
about
is
it.
freaks. Also, again, the internet has universally liked
Also,
zero things
people
ever.
lie on the internet.
Yeah, even
People
if
on
they
the
did
internet
like it.
say they hate things they like.
Yeah.
They're lying. They're virtue signaling. They're
Well-
trying to act morally righteous. There's also, like we always talk about, there's like need for people on the internet to associate whatever I like is morally righteous and good, and whatever I don't like is problematic. It's like, no, you just like or don't like it, and you have no identity rooted in anything other than your taste.
Yeah. Well, we were saying because we've been we watched Seinfeld and we're on an old sitcom kick, and we've started like rewatching old episodes of Friends. And based on the way the internet talks about Friends, you'd think they were all in Klan costumes the entire time.
And they're not.
They're
It's like
literally not problematic.
It's like the least problematic. Like it's like the most edgeless show. There's
edgeless.
nothing
There's
going
nothing
on.
going on.
The internet is like
Straight clean comedy.
Every article about Friends is like the lack of diversity and the racism and homophobia plagues a Friends rewatch in 2025. And then you watch it and it's Monica going, so when I go on a date, I like to wear comfy shoes. And Chandler goes, comfy shoes on a date? Monica, and then studio audience. And I'm like, it's nothing.
Literally
It's literally
nothing.
not problematic.
It's not
It's a piece of
problematic.
toast.
It's a piece of toast.
It's a piece of plain toast.
It's milk, as they say, milk toast.
It's milk
toast. And you need to chill out.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I'm like, if you, there is such a collective like Mandela effect of like all of these things that we all loved that were massively popular actually are like really evil.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, even like in modern day, I remember before Avatar 2 came out, it was the most viral joke on the internet was Avatar made no cultural impact. Nobody even remembers Avatar. Why are they even making a sequel? And then Avatar 2 came out and it was the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time. So if you listen to the
'Cause real
internet, you
people
would have
aren't
never
on
made
there.
the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
And now we all have Avatar tattoos, all of us.
Yeah.
We all have different Pandora and Navi symbols all over us.
We all have like chest, really big, tummy
Really
tats.
big
I know you're
tats.
wondering
So you
why
just
does
don't
Robert
see
always
it.
wear a shirt on the pod?
And it's
because I have a
'cause we have giant
Natiri
Avatar
tattoo.
tattoos.
Who's Natiri?
It's the girl.
The way I wouldn't even. I only know Jake.
I'm actually,
Sully.
I'm actually
Jake
pissed at the
Sully.
idea.
I
Now
only
I'm
know
like,
Jake
I'm pissed that
Sully.
you'd have another girl tattooed on you. And I know it's fake.
Well, it's Navi.
Well, and she's an Avatar, but
Plus, dude,
I'm
it's
really
like, it's-
upset.
Plus,
But
it's
people,
not,
dude, the avatars are so fucking skinny. I remember literally seeing that, and that gave me such bad body image issues.
Avatar.
No, because they're like
That's
so
funny.
lean. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean they're like
they're
giant aliens.
Yeah,
giant
but I'm just
aliens.
like when I watched that actually, and that goes back on what I said about aliens being good for a human body
That's
image.
bad for your
because I'm like, no,
body
I literally
image.
remember watching that as a fat teen. Avatar
Being like,
1.
damn, why don't I look
Being
like an
like,
Avatar?
Damn, I'm so fucking
Well, that's
fat.
one thing with Avatar 1. They sent the paralyzed human undercover and put him in a jacked alien, like ultra athletic body. It's like, dude, even if the Na'vi sucked, he still would have wanted to stay in Avatar.
Right, because he's
Team.
fucking jacked there.
Yeah, of course he would. Obviously, it's so much better. By the way, just so you know, like if you and I were together and I had to go undercover as a Na'vi, it wouldn't be considered cheating if my avatar did stuff with other
Yes,
Na'vi.
it would.
Because it's not
Yes,
me.
it would.
I didn't do anything. My body's in a
That you
pod.
said that in
I'm
the
just
Bible,
saying.
in Proverbs,
There's
like a
nothing
verse.
about the Na'vi in the Bible.
It's like if a man even like looks at another woman and has a thought about her, that means he's basically already cheated.
But I'm not looking at her. It's my avatar that's looking at her.
But
It's
like
my
even the fact that
avatar
you're bringing
body.
this up right now, it's like, oh, you want to cheat on me with a Na'vi so
I don't
bad.
want to cheat on the Na'vi. I don't want to do anything, but I do
Remember-
want to do my duty. So
Remember
if
when
I'm
people
sent
killed
in-
themselves because they couldn't live in Pandora?
Yeah.
I'm like, is that how could that be real? That's so crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a thing where like cultural impact is like no one even knows the name
People
of Natiri.
SE-sided about it.
They're
okay?
SE-sided.
They're SE-sided.
That's such a like pizzazzy word for
SE-side?
SE side.
Yeah, I made it up because for Dr. P.
Well, when I see
Oh.
someone's when I see someone's mood board and it's so good, I know my life will never be that good. I commit Etsy side.
Etsy.
Etsy
You're thinking of
side.
Pinterest.
I was just gonna say that.
You
I
could
thought it
use
was
Etsy and
not
Pinterest,
Yeah.
but I like that
But you-
attempt and idea.
you know, we got what you were
we got what you're
saying.
saying. We got what you're trying to say, but ultimately, yeah, the pun doesn't work because Etsy is not Pinterest.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean,
very
you
clear
could
you thought
say
Etsy
like
was Pinterest.
when someone is selling better handmade goods than me,
Yeah.
then I commit Etsy side.
What if my job is I'm going undercover on the Na'vi and then I come home and I like you made a homemade dinner and I sprint in and I'm like, hey, I go back to work tonight. I gotta work another shift. Sorry. Sorry.
The
Love
most
you.
unbelievable part of that is Dana making a handmade dinner. Not that you being going
You
as
mean
an
me ordering Pizza
avatar.
Hut?
Yeah. And then, but then the argument would be I would be trying to claim that the fruits I consumed as an avatar would count, and Eve would be like, "That's not you. That's your Na'vi
I
avatar."
eat way more fruit as
But then you'd use the fact that it didn't count for him eating the fruit, that it didn't count that he was cheating on me.
Yeah. Well, then I would have to choose. It's like,
Avatar.
it's like
Which is it?
Either
the fruit counts
or
or
the
you
cheating
cheat.
counts.
And which is it?
Which is it?
yeah.
Does the fruiting count? Does the fruit count and the cheating counts, or the fruit doesn't count and the cheating doesn't count?
Dude, Avatar would have been so good if they just inserted Dana as his girlfriend back on Earth, and she's just always FaceTiming like,
you better not be
What are you
banging
doing?
those Na'vi.
"Oh, this Natiri, is she ugly? Is
She better be ugly. She better be ugly.
And it's
Yeah.
like her stalking her on
Dude, yeah,
Gram.
be on Natiri's Instagram.
Yeah.
Is it just because she's taller than me?
I want you see me like experimenting with like a blue spray tan. at
Oh my
home.
god.
Is this what you like?
Yeah, you come home from your job and I like have
And you're
tried to make
blue.
myself, but I'm giving Smurf obviously.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, as we always
You'd be
say.
giving
I'd be
Smurf not
giving Smurf.
enough.
If Natiri was a 4, Jake Sully would have no problem burning that forest to the ground.
Tea.
If Natiri
So
was
real.
ugly, he would have been like,
He'd been
torch
like,
it.
burn it, bruh.
Torch it, dude.
Okay, well, a topic I have is that, do you know Chris Olsen?
Yes.
Okay, from TikTok. If
Not
you don't know,
personally,
yeah.
but
Well,
I
okay,
know of.
he's a TikToker. Okay, if you don't know, and he's very much like, oh, I love Taylor Swift. Like that's kind of part of his personality. And he and his ex have been beefing, and
Like publicly.
yeah,
Yes.
and his ex came out with that he's a fake Swiftie allegation.
Oh,
That'll kill ya.
dude.
Which I was like, this is hilarious. And I mean, obviously they're beefing. Like, I'm sure his ex is, I don't know. But it's just, even if it's not true, it's still funny.
One of the most relatable, or one of the most, I would say, probably common traits shared by popular internet personalities is that they're probably fake Swifties. Like, there are so many fake Swifties.
because it's an easy way to garner fans.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Taylor has so many
aligning
fans.
yourself with the
and
Swiftie
then
demographic.
they're like, oh,
is
they
huge
like
for
Taylor.
you.
I like them.
Well,
like,
I've had a couple
yeah.
pro Taylor Swift like reels go really viral, and every time it feels dirty. I feel like this is so
it's dirty.
easy.
It is.
Well,
It's so
You're
easy.
clout leeching off of
Yeah.
like one of the most
It's so
popular
easy.
people of
Well,
all time.
Two things, because one, on the Chris Olsen thing, it was funny to me that his ex was like speaking as if like there were like crazy like criminal allegations coming.
Well,
like,
for him it is though,
but it was a fake
because
Swiftie.
he goes so hard with like saying he's a Swiftie. Okay, basically the ex. I didn't even watch the video. I'm just like going off of the Just Trish summary.
Of course.
But basically they were at the Eras tour where Taylor said Karma's the guy on the Chiefs. Do you remember? If you remember that?
Yes.
And his ex said that when that happened, he turned to Chris and he was like, "Hey, like, did you hear her change the lyric?" And Chris was on his phone and said, "I don't fucking care."
Whoa.
Like, I don't fucking give a fuck or something like that.
Whoa.
I love that, by
I
the
love
way.
that. That's
It's
hilarious.
phone
That's
and,
a
like,
really, really,
said,
really funny
"I don't
energy to be
give a
bringing.
fuck." And then later that night, Wayne made a TikTok that was like, "I can't believe I witnessed Taylor saying Karma is the guy on the Chiefs."
I do think that's just like so funny because it is demonstrative of like how freaking fake a lot of people are.
Which I mean,
like,
again, even if it's a lie, like that is just
That's so deeply
funny.
funny. I don't
to,
give a
like,
fuck.
to think of, especially of him making the TikTok later, being
Well-
like, "Wow, I can't believe I witnessed this."
That's so
I literally,
funny.
it's also funny because I saw Chris Olsen then made a TikTok that was like hinting at what was said about him without saying it. And then basically Chris Olsen's TikTok was like, rumors are always going to be said about you when you're popular or something. And then all the comments were like, but these rumors are true. The allegations are true. And it's like, you would think that he set up a sniper rifle
No,
and tried to
literally.
take her
Like
out.
you would think that these are murder essay, like terrible allegations. In reality,
the
it's just him
Swifties,
being. But
this is a huge betrayal.
And also with him going, and it's like, this is why you can't virtue signal, because if you're being fake,
It's just
like,
so funny
Yeah.
that this is like being a Swiftie is virtue.
well, it's Swiftie signaling, okay?
Yeah, it's Swiftie.
It's
It
Swiftie
is.
signaling, and like if you're a fake, you'll get caught, and it'll be bad news.
Well, this actually kind of pisses me off. I hate the fake Swiftie shit that's performative because, like, I consider myself to be like a genuine Taylor Swift fan. Like, again, I would like go to like birthday parties in the 7th grade and like listen to Taylor Swift songs. Like, I actually listen to her throughout my life. I just don't do like the weird fake posting. So therefore, I'm not given like Swiftie fan status. I'm like, yeah, because that's weird. You guys are being weird.
But I mean,
But
there
I've
is-
always thought that that's a cheap way to garner
is.
fandom, is to garner fandom by your own fandom.
And
Like,
we know,
I've never
we
thought
know
that
of
was
one man
legit.
in particular
yeah.
who's big on social, owns
And he's like,
a big media company.
I'm the biggest Swiftie. I'm the biggest Swiftie
Well,
of
no,
all
you can't
time.
pick up from that impression who
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah,
Then
and also, by the way, if in a year like young girls actually decided they were big fans of shitting their pants, this guy would be on TikTok
No,
like,
literally.
I'm a big shitty.
He'd be
I
like,
love to
I've
shit my
always loved
pants."
shitting my
He
pants.
bandwagoned some other person.
It was Justin
Justin
Bieber.
Bieber. His old well, it's like in Get Out when he finds the old photos,
Yes.
and it's like finding out that he's done this throughout the eras of like so many other young like celebrities that girls like, because he's a predator.
It is just interesting though.
Because he's a fucking clout predator.
I do think it's interesting because I'm like, no,
Dude,
you
clout
start to
predators
realize
are real. Go
Yeah.
on.
in order to keep your station as like number one on the internet, you do find that like the people who are really successful at it, they're always fucking pretending random shit. They're always pretending random shit. Like if you're like real as fuck, it's hard to stay on top because
So real.
you just like you
Well,
need the
I saw-
momentum
'cause
of like
and that's why
clout
we're not on
movements.
top, because we're too
That's-
fucking
no, it
real.
is.
I'll
We're
see
too
an
fucking
article.
real.
We're too real.
I'll see an
People
article
can't
that's like
take it.
Walton Goggins says which era of Taylor Swift he likes best. And I'm like, A, why are you even asking
nobody
him?
cares.
And why are you writing an article about it?
Like, I don't care what Walton Goggins thinks about Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
And I just made that example
also,
up.
if
But
you're
it,
a Swiftie and like finding out Walton Goggins likes Taylor Swift makes you like Walton Goggins, you need help.
You need help.
Yeah.
But also you just know that they're like, oh my god, Walton's so reputation coded.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, what? What are you even talking about?
He's
Get
no
a fucking
reputation
grip.
coded.
Oh
Get
my
a
god,
fucking
he's
grip.
so 1989.
Also, like when I see like B-list celebrities who will give an interview where they say, "Oh my God, Taylor Swift is so iconic. I love Taylor." I'm like, we know what you're doing, but I guess we,
we
don't.
know
I
what
guess
you're
we don't
doing.
know.
But
I
it's
guess no
like,
one
again,
knows.
They fall, it works every time. That's why people keep doing it. It's because people always fall for it.
And let me be clear, I like Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift has probably made more songs that I like than any other artist in terms of sheer volume.
That's tea,
But
that's
I just
tea.
am not gonna like what?
But I think that this falls into what I'm talking about with like media literacy, where I'm like, y'all need to like understand when people are like lying to get you to like them, as you also need to understand when people are like just expressing themselves in a joking manner and don't actually need to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's, do you know what I mean? I think that's it's the same thing.
Yes.
It's all like you're believing too much what you're seeing and you're not going like, oh, this was actually recorded. This person thought about what they were going to say and they understood what
Media
a potential
literacy,
reaction might be
folks.
from me.
Yeah.
Media literacy. What is the media trying to get you to do or say or feel?
Yeah. When a man says, I love Taylor Swift.
Do you think he loves Taylor Swift, or do you think he's trying to get you girls to be like, oh, he's actually baby
my
girl
God, he's
coded.
baby girl
Oh, he's baby girl
coded.
coded.
Yeah, it's like that guy's not
use
throwing
your
on folklore when he's by
You're
himself in the car.
so easily manipulated. That being said, yeah, I love Taylor Swift.
That being said,
Swifties.
with that being
I
said,
love
we are
Taylor.
Swifties.
No,
I
we
are
do like Taylor
Swifties.
Swift, but that's what
But we're
irks
not
me.
performing it for
It's
you.
not performative. I like her music.
Yeah.
I attended the Eras tour. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if
Thank
I saw
you.
her say Karma's the guy in the Chiefs, mine would not be on my phone, and I would not say I don't give a fuck.
and even I've created
And here's
dance
the-
routines
and
to
here's the
Taylor
deal.
Swift songs
We have
that
done
are
that.
terrible and really embarrassing.
and you think, oh,
Yeah.
like as little girls? No.
no,
As
very
adults.
recently.
As grown adults.
As grown women. Okay.
And here's my thing. If I were at the Eras tour and I heard her say Karma's the guy in the Chiefs, I probably wouldn't give a shit about that. But that actually wouldn't make me less of a Swift. You know what I'm saying?
But also it's like
that's fake.
It's
That's
like you wouldn't give a
performing.
shit, but then you also wouldn't be making a video later going like, oh my God, it was crazy when she did that.
Yeah.
Like, it is
Well,
like
if you
hilarious to
deal
think
in
that
that,
that's
it will
true.
come back.
I think that's
That
true.
being said, the main guy we talk about who does that, I'm like, it
Yeah.
seems like he's just
No,
people fall
it
for it.
always worked
He's
for
got
him.
sorcery.
It's literally always worked for him, and I just
He's got
can't.
it's pure sorcery. It's
But
so
again, you have to
overt.
understand, like, when people believe that, it's because they want to believe it. It's
'cause they wanna believe it.
because
Yeah.
they are
But obviously that's
desperate
what
to
he
believe
knows.
it.
That's what they know.
Wait, can we take a break to pee?
Yeah, T.
Yeah. I've just been peeing my pants this whole app, so
Yeah.
committed. And we're back. After pissing our pants and then changing the sheets because we all pissed our pants, we're back.
Instead of going to the bathroom, which would take like a minute, we
All pissed our pants.
And that's how
pants in the
committed
bed.
we
And then
are to
spend
this.
an hour
we
washing the
change the
sheets and
sheets.
In the
changing
same way
them.
that surgeons wear diapers in surgery,
Do surgeons wear diapers?
I guess that makes sense because you can't
They gotta be
really.
in there for like 27
I
hours.
think
Yeah,
that's like
you
one
can't
episode
take
of
a
Grey's
break.
Anatomy. Surgeons weigh in.
Surgeons weigh in.
Surgeons.
Yeah.
You can tell us this isn't Survivor.
You can tell us if you're a surgeon.
Don't worry, we won't use it to not form
I
an
saw a
alliance with
clip
you.
of like whatever the new season of Survivor is, and Jeff Probst was leading them on a sing along of like it was something like food and reward, and they were all singing, and every contestant was singing along food and reward, and someone quote retweeted it, and they were like, I can't explain it, but I wish Survivor would start casting more people who would not tolerate this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's so
Like,
real.
shut up, Jeff.
Yeah.
But again, I do
Give
think
us the food.
I do think the 2014 Survivor contestants that we talk about, like the pre-woke era Survivor, I do
It's
think there could
wild.
be some people who would be like, no, I'm not doing that.
I know what the fuck you're
No.
doing. I'm here to fucking win.
I'm here to win. I don't want to
We're
sing.
now everyone's here
food
for a
and
little
reward.
sing-song.
Yeah.
I would sing the food and reward song.
Well, yeah,
too,
you would love it.
because
You'd
I'd be
have such a good
delirious.
time.
But I'm a
'Cause you'd
little
be
goofy boy.
delirious.
I'm a little goofy boy, and then I find out the reward is fruit, and I'm like, ugh.
Dude, there was a contestant. There was a
joking.
contestant on a recent
Bruh,
Survivor.
joking because he loves fruit because he eats fruit all the time.
Joking.
All day. He's never not eaten fruit.
There was a contestant on a recent Survivor season, and he obviously was a Swiftie. He would like name Taylor Swift songs. And so, like,
just
he
sitting,
like
just
named
being like,
hundreds of Taylor Swift songs.
I feel like I heard
yeah,
about
yeah,
this because
yeah.
they were just bored.
Right,
Like
because
they were
Yeah.
like,
like
okay,
name
yeah.
songs. And like, so definitely I believe he's a Swiftie, but I do think there's something to like men specifically performing the life of Taylor Swift. Even if you're genuinely a Swiftie, I think that
Why are
there's
you
always an ulterior
performing?
motive behind it. Like
Because
there's always
to that guy's point, clearly he knew a lot of Taylor Swift songs. So clearly on some level he was a Swiftie. I'm
Yeah.
sure he whatever. But also the fact that in his opening intro thing, he's like, I'm a Swiftie. And he
Right.
goes to
Right,
college.
that can't be your whole
What
personality.
percentage of this is you're trying to get laid at college? And I'm like,
Dude.
that's okay,
like
whatever,
I think it's
but
like
come on.
it's calculated on some level. And again, I believe like I genuinely believe you like Taylor Swift songs, and I believe you like whatever you probably do really for real listen to her music. But also I'm like any overly performed interest, I'm always suspicious of. I'm always
Well, I'll say this. I think our Soul Cycle instructor is a performative Beyonce fan because she never plays a single Beyonce
You're not
hit
gonna get Eve with
from
you.
I'm
You're
never gonna
2020.
say anything bad about that.
'Cause you're her guest.
Because she
But
be
Robert
hooking
and I
me
have
up,
noticed,
and I
like,
love.
there are
And I
so
don't know if
many-
you've seen this I love you.
Yeah.
There are so many, like, dare I say,
And I
white
think you have
soul cycle
great taste
instructors.
in
It's white women
Beyonce.
soul cycle
White women
instructors
soul cycle instructors
performing Beyonce
be
love.
like they like Beyonce.
And again, my
you can
evidence
tell-
is there's great Beyonce songs that in my head I'm like,
Yeah.
I know you do love Irreplaceable. I know you would love like even like
Guys,
XO, a
guys,
deep cut.
Robert
You
does love
never
Beyonce.
play
Also,
it.
Robert's the
She
biggest Beyonce
played-
fan on Young Old.
But also,
First, that's true.
I do love Beyonce for
Yeah.
real. Like, but like I love
Can
like
we at
7-Eleven.
least admit that I'm the biggest Beyonce
well, you know what?
fan?
We'll give
can
you
we?
that. Yeah,
Actually, I'd like to
I'll
hear
give
it.
you
Okay.
that.
I'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear it. It's
We'll
crazy.
give you the biggest
I'm
Beyonce
like, yeah,
fan of Young
it means
Old.
a lot to you.
But, like,
you can have that.
Well, it's not because it means a lot to me. It's
If
because
that
it is
means a lot
accurate.
to you, sure.
Me on Survivor, I'm like, I'm a big Beyonce fan. But no, I do like Beyonce, but also like some of these instructors, they only will play like new Beyonce songs. Meanwhile, if it's like Beyonce and Miley Cyrus, they'll play every Miley Cyrus hit, but they'll only play Beyonce songs off like Cowboy Carter, not even really Renaissance,
Renaissance
Like they don't
even.
even hit me with an Alien Superstar, which would be like made for soul.
Beyonce is a meme to them. Like
It's like a meme.
100% Beyonce's
And
a meme
again,
to
I
them.
can tell
And also,
they
like,
view her as
I'm
a
like,
meme.
Lemonade had so many bangers. We never hear sorry.
Also,
we never hear sorry.
We never hear anything off herself. We never hear Drunken Love.
No, we
I'm
never
like,
hear
what are we
Drunken
She
doing?
Love.
played Drunken Love today. That's what I was going to tell you.
Well, that's a verse.
She played Drunken Love
That's
today.
amazing.
Wait, what's the theme of the one we're going to tomorrow?
Justin NSYNC.
Okay, cool.
Timber, like
Yeah.
No, the other Justin.
No, the other.
there's other Justins. There's Justin Bieber.
Well,
Yeah,
but
I
why
know,
would it be
but-
with NSYNC?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they were little boys and he was
Use
a little
your-
boy.
Because they're all little boys.
We're doing a little boys soul cycle.
Dude, the boys.
The boys.
The boys.
Wait, there was something I was going to
Oh,
say.
wait, I want to talk
don't
about hot girl
remember.
ships.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So I have decided that my alternate career, if obviously, I'm gonna be
Obviously,
a
there's
world
no
famous movie
alternate,
star
but in
podcast
an
owner.
alternate universe.
In an alternate universe, I would be a shipping magnate. And I would have a company called Hot Girl Ships because what I've noticed is a lot of hot girl entrepreneurs that I adore and follow, what a common complaint that they all share is that it is very difficult to ship your product quickly, efficiently, and affordably across the country, etc. And so I would run a shipping business where I would employ girls who are kind of like in between gigs to drive packages and captain ships with hot girl entrepreneurs supplies.
Well, this is quite a career.
So,
Yeah, and
so you would simply have
I would simply have-
underemployed hot girl influencers who are
Yes.
between brand deals,
Yes.
captain cargo freighters
yes,
through
yes.
international waters
Yes.
to collect the merch that other hot girl influencers are producing
loungewear,
overseas.
bikinis.
what are your plans
sleepwear.
for the tariffs?
So I would work something out with Trump. think I have.
Okay.
I think
Meet
I
with
could.
him.
I
This
think
is
we
the
could
real reason you wanted us in
chat.
the White House press room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
wanted
can
us to
talk
do
about
corporate
your
espionage.
shipping,
talk
shipping
about tariffs
business.
for my hot girl ships. But I am like, no, I think that hot girl ships could be a real thing for me.
So you think
And-
you could work out a special deal with him where it's like, oh, but the tariffs don't apply to hot girl ships though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could. I think
Yeah.
I could finagle. I think I could get him on my side about this.
We're bringing
Okay.
back jobs. We've got hot girl ships. Dana Donnelly, Dr. P. We've got
Donnelly,
Dr.
Dr.
P.
P.
Dana Donnelly, Dr. V. And Trump, stay tuned. We are going to have a meeting and you're going to
let her ship with no tariffs.
you're going to forego the tariffs on hot girl ships.
Yeah, and what would your haters say when they saw you having a meeting with President Trump about hot girl ships? Again, this will never
what you gotta
occur.
do.
I'm not a big believer in hot girl ships.
Also, all my haters
How
be-
could you say that?
How could you say that?
I don't think it will happen.
I love how he's like,
bang the
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna
Navi.
cheat on you with a Navi, and I don't believe in you being a shipping magnate.
It wouldn't
What?
be cheating. It's my avatar and my job. It's not my body.
But the fruit he eats there counts.
But the fruit eats.
also, they have sex with their braids, so it's a totally
I
different.
always was disgusted by that. I
What?
was always disgusted.
What?
And then, oh my God, don't even get me started by when they hook them up to the animals. Oh,
yeah,
disgusting.
because they're one. They're becoming one with AWA.
Bestiality. Also, like,
They're becoming one with AWA,
first
dude.
of all, bestiality. Second of all, just like the way it looks. Oh my God, it's so nasty. And then like the little the little
I like
little
how it's like,
fibers.
first of all, bestiality. Second of all, we're still on bestiality.
No, but it's like the little fibers like all like interconnect, and then they like come. They're like, oh.
When do they? I don't think they come.
Don't they like
don't
make
come.
a reaction when
They
they
don't
connect?
come?
Well, it does seem like it feels good.
you would cheat on
Yeah,
me.
but they have like a moment. They have
You
like
don't
a
even
moment
come?
where when
In
it
the first
connects,
one,
they're
when-
all like, oh.
In the first one, when Jake Sully has to get his flying dragon thing, he jumps on it, force connects his thing, and then it zooms in on the dragon's eye, and it's like, whoa!
Yeah, exactly. Because they're effing them. Because it's bestiality.
Dude, can I say this? Disney bought 20th Century Fox after Avatar 1 was released, and Disney did a re-release of Avatar 1, and I'm like 90% sure they cut the braid fucking from it.
Yeah, because it's gross. I'm glad they cut it. It's nasty.
It is the most popular movie of all time worldwide.
Also, I famously love Legos, and they had an Avatar, or they have lots of Avatar Lego sets, I think. But there was one with the guy, like the Avatar, and then the horsey, and then it like had the Lego connect between the braids.
Yeah.
And I was like, ew, not Lego getting in on this.
Come
Lego
so separately.
disgusting.
It's crazy to me that Lego actually does have a bunch of 18+ Lego sets.
And that's when you get to see the Navi come
Well,
and
no,
connect to the
and you
horse.
can see like the tiger's Donkey Kong's rump hole.
No.
Yeah.
You're
see
always
Donkey Kong's
mixing
rump
up.
hole.
You're always mixing up the things. Okay.
Okay.
I showed them one time that my tiger. Actually, I don't even think this is an 18+ set. I think this is like a younger set. But the tiger has like a butthole on it, right? And then we were joking that 18+ sets would be like Bowser has like huge balls.
He has giant balls.
But then Dana mixed up the tiger butthole being real with the Bowser balls being real, and then she was convinced that the Bowser 18+ set like really had
You know what'd be
huge
cool?
balls.
If the 18+ Navi like Avatar set, its braid could hook up to like the tiger.
To the tiger.
Yeah, so that's it's like, but the Navi figures can hook up to any other
They can
Lego
fuck
animal.
any Lego
Oh,
animal.
ew, no.
You know what's funny?
I didn't even, again, I was so disgusted by that in the movie. And then to see Lego, like, they're being like, oh, look, you can connect the braid to, I'm like, stop it. Disgusting.
They're one. They're becoming one with Awa.
Ew!
This is me when Dana accuses my avatar of cheating, and I'm like, I'm becoming one with Awa. It's not sexual. We're just becoming one with Awa.
But yeah, the animal's eyes widening, and then also just like
Widening
when
and like shock.
when the braids like connect and they're all like it's like a whole moment. It's like ew. I'm so glad that they cut it for the
You're
for
a
Disney.
prude. Yeah, Disney cut it. You're a prude. Well, I mean,
I
they
would
often-
rather than be like fully like show whole like fully
Insertion,
effing than
yeah.
the braid shit. I hate the braid shit.
You know what's funny? They removed his sex scene with Natiri where they connect braids, but they kept all the stuff where they connect braids to animals. So now it's almost like they're just doing
They're
bestiality.
just doing the bestiality.
You know, it's just so funny to me that the weird, like, Avatar is universally popular. Like, the Avatar movie is, like, in non-English speaking countries, I think it's, like, the #1 American blockbuster of all time. Like, it's truly global. And it's funny that so many weird, niche, often unsettling ideas can actually come together to truly have universal appeal somehow. Meaning a lot of movies on the opposite end that try to have universal appeal.
and appeal to no one at all.
Appeal to no one at all.
That being said, another Disney movie that we watched last night.
Oh,
Is this a good
Confessions of a
segue? I
love
Teenage
those
Drama Queen.
yeah.
We watched, Robert agreed to watch Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen with me last night, and it was glorious. It was better than I remember.
Well, it was strange for me to see it because I'm watching it and I'm seeing just how much of Dana's whole thing was clearly just stolen directly from this
Well,
movie.
I think I realized watching it, I have multiple personality disorder, but every one of my personalities is a different character from Confessions of a Teenage Drama
Oh,
Queen.
it's like split,
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
like all the
It's all-
characters from
yeah.
Confessions of
So
a
sometimes
Teenage
dark
Drama
is
Queen.
split because
Yeah.
it's all from
Sometimes she's
Teenage
Lindsay
Drama Queen.
Lohan. Sometimes she's the nerdy best friend. Sometimes
Yeah.
she's the overwhelmed drama teacher.
Sometimes I'm Megan Fox.
Sometimes you're Megan Fox. Also, there is a thing like when Megan Fox and Lindsay Lohan are on screen, I'm like, oh, we're
They're
looking at two
stars!
movie
We used to
stars.
have
Also, they weren't
hotties.
fucking fours.
We used to have
Quit.
hotties.
I don't want to see another 4 on TV or movie.
I was complaining to them.
Unless the thing is that they're 4.
unless that's their thing.
No,
Unless that's their
okay,
thing.
this is what I think. I'm like, and again, I'm one of the biggest fans of girls, and I love Lena Dunham, and I think she's beautiful. But like, the thing about Lena Dunham is that she like looked like a normal person. Like that was like a part of the buy-in. Like we're watching this TV show, going, oh, isn't it cool that like Lena Dunham is starring as herself, and she's like not a traditionally hot Hollywood
That's the
actress.
hook.
And then they took that and they said, well, I guess this is what Hollywood actresses look like now. No.
No.
My on-camera take is that I think all bodies and all women are equally
Shut
beautiful.
up, Brett.
That's my on-camera
Basically,
take.
Megan Fox and Lindsay Lohan are fucking stars. They're presented. It's also, again, it's not actually even about how they look so much as it is how we're presenting our
They're
female
styled
leads.
really well.
It is not sexual harassment. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It is not sexual harassment to put a woman in a pair of jeans that fits her. Yeah. That's not sexual harassment. Okay?
We're looking at you, Thunderbolts.
Well, if you look at the difference between Florence Pugh's suit in Thunderbolts
Versus
and
Black
Scarlett
Widow's
Johansson's
suit.
suit in Black Widow, you can literally see they made it
They do
baggier
have
and
authority, and we like the
clunky.
Thunderbolts.
And we like Thunderbolts.
At times, it's like it is like everyone's dressed like a construction worker.
Right.
Not the
And
construction worker pack.
I liked the Thunderbolts, but it does do the thing where the villain at the end is depression. I'm like, enough.
I couldn't believe that when you guys were telling me that was the plot. I'm like, is this for real?
Well,
like,
yeah,
is
they'll be
this
like,
for real?
It ends with
That's for
them
real.
giving him a group hug to fend off his depression, and I am just like, dude, whatever happened to Iron Man? Whatever happened to just
They
like
never gave Thanos a hug.
They never gave Thanos a hug, and he would not have taken it well.
Yeah.
What if at the end of Infinity War they stopped fighting and they said the real villain is biphobia, and then they all high-fived and it went to credits? I'm like, no, we want to see you fight. Come on.
We need to see you fight.
And that's not to say biphobia isn't a real villain.
Sure.
And my on-camera take is I fight it every day.
That's gonna be Thunderbolts too.
Yeah. Yeah, it also is a thing too. Like I remember there's so many articles that were written about how like Black Widow and Iron Man 2, it was really problematic and misogynist. I'm like, I just flatly don't think that's true.
No, it's just her looking good and
She
them
just
being
was-
like, also like they're like mentally harassing her in their mind.
Right.
Yeah, so they're
And
like,
then
that's the
You can
movie.
really see there's a lot of projection
And then they're like,
there.
oh my God, the way she's being harassed. And it's like, no, you're harassing her in your
Well,
head.
it is the whole like thing of hey, don't essay women, and then guys go, okay, I guess I can't be within 100 feet of a woman, so I should never give her a job anymore. It's like
It's like
that's
present
not
women
what
as
said.
3-dimensional human beings.
Oh, I guess she needs to be in a potato sack.
I guess she's
Yeah.
gotta be in a potato sack.
And also, it's like that's not what we're saying.
Also,
Like it's so immature. It's
Also,
such an
sorry
immature
to nerd
reaction.
out, but I remember when they did the Black Widow press run, they talked about how ScarJo's first appearance of Black Widow was so problematic in Iron Man 2. And I'm like, I think Iron Man 2 is a better movie than Black Widow, so you're talking a lot of trash. But also, when they introduced Black Widow in Iron Man 2, people would be like, oh, Tony Stark talks about her like she's an object. And it's like, well, yeah, that's his character. He made like, oh, I want one remarks. But at the same time during that scene, we see Black Widow beating the shit out of Happy Hogan. So the scene is communicating, even though Tony Stark is being an asshole, this character actually has dimensions that he's not seeing.
It's dramatic
that we, the
irony
audience,
and
knows.
juxtaposition. It's a storytelling
Everyone's
tool.
so literal.
You're so literal. And again, this goes back to what? Media literacy. You believe it when people say they're Swifties. You think that people are crazy when they are a little goofy on camera. You think you're wrong.
You think it's
You
cheating
it's-
because your boyfriend is connecting braids with a Navi? That's his avatar.
not
cheating.
That
That
That's
is
his
cheating.
avatar.
And that is cheating. And if your
But-
boyfriend's connecting braids, you need to
But
leave
if
him.
your boyfriend's
Dude.
avatar is eating fruit, that does count.
That does count.
And by the
That
way, you'll
counts.
notice we've been eating M&Ms throughout the pod. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
made for a great listening experience.
I hope
But
not.
This is just
I mean, I
giving-
hope it didn't. Like, I was careful.
This is just giving a little sample of like what we could do with brand integration into young old. So if
So
you're
if
watching.
M&M's wants to sponsor.
If you're watching this, we can be eating M&Ms while we beg for sluttier superhero costumes.
We can
And
play.
what
Here's
brand
what's also
synergy
so
that'll do.
important for you guys to know. None of us are perverts. Like, I feel comfortable
Okay,
saying
I don't
that.
know if we need to
We
announce
can't
that.
announce that.
Well, I'm comfortable announcing that. I'm not a fucking pervert. And I'm saying make the clothes a little tighter.
All right, now I wish I hadn't agreed with you this whole time because then I'm like, we culminated in you saying none
So
of
you're
us
saying you
per-
are a pervert?
No, I'm just saying that I would like to become one with AWA while going undercover.
Are we done for today?
How long do we have?
We have like an hour 10 total.
Okay, I guess so.
Are people comfortable with that?
I mean, yeah, I need to go eat like a lot of fruit. I've got it kind of laid
Okay, yeah,
out.
for
so-
sure. He has a
We're
whole
supposed to go
spread.
connect braids with the.
So
So
sad.
anyway,
So
in-
sad that he's so far gone. His mind is it's not even there anymore.
so next episode I will be zooming in from a mental facility.
I think that's for the best.
Good night, young old.
I eat the the most fruit.
I eat
probably
most
eats the most fruit.
Just
Robert
because
is
I'm in the minority here doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Who the
This
frick
is
is
why the
teary-eyed
male loneliness
That's
epidemic
just
is
my
happening.
job to go undercover and
Good
not die.